The concept of dependent origination, known as pratityasamutpada in Buddhist philosophy, beautifully aligns with the transition from a state of negative balance, where phenomena do not arise independently, to a state of positive balance, where phenomena coexist due to their interdependence. Dependent origination fundamentally explores the interconnected and interdependent nature of phenomena, emphasizing that nothing exists in isolation but arises and ceases depending on the conditions that precede and surround it. This can be thought of as a transition from a state of disequilibrium or negative balance to one of coexistence or positive balance. In the context of dependent origination, the state of disequilibrium or negative balance can be understood as the condition where phenomena are in their state of non-arising or non-existence because certain conditions are not met. For example, consider ignorance or avidya in the chain of dependent origination. When ignorance is present, it conditions the arising of volitional formations, known as sankhara. However, in its absence, these formations do not arise. Here, the non-arising of volitional formations is dependent on the absence of ignorance, emphasizing a state of mutual non-arising. Dependent origination details the process by which phenomena arise in dependence on other phenomena, aligning with the transition to a state of positive balance. For instance, when ignorance, or avidya, is present, it gives rise to volitional formations known as sankhara, which in turn condition consciousness or vijnana. The existence of consciousness arises because the necessary conditions of ignorance and volitional formations coexist and support its arising. This reflects the Buddhist concept that everything exists because other conditions and phenomena coexist, leading to a state where the existence of one phenomenon presupposes and supports the existence of others. The transformation from a state of negative balance to positive balance in dependent origination can be illustrated through the 12 nidanas, which explain how ignorance leads to aging and death through a series of interconnected states. Initially, in a state where ignorance or avidya prevails, formations or sankhara and consciousness or vijnana are in their state of non-arising. As ignorance is replaced by awareness and understanding, formations begin to arise and consciousness manifests, demonstrating a transition to a state where each phenomenon is dependent on the prior. For example, when ignorance or avidya is present, it conditions the arising of volitional formations or sankhara. These formations then condition the arising of consciousness or vijnana. As awareness and understanding replace ignorance, volitional formations diminish and consciousness becomes more aware and less conditioned by ignorance. This transition exemplifies how understanding and interrupting the cycle at any point can transform the nature of existence from suffering to enlightenment, from non-arising to arising, and from disequilibrium to coexistence. Each step or link in the chain depends on the presence of others, reflecting a dynamic and continuous process of transformation and interdependence, characterizing the move from a state of negative balance to one of positive balance.